Hey guys, and welcome back to another Toy Soldier Reviews action figure video. And today, as you can tell, I'm gonna need a much bigger table to review this amazing 2-pack of Colossus and Juggernaut. So yeah, what we're gonna do is get straight into the packaging and let's get into it. Alright, to start off this review, we're gonna look at the packaging, which as you can see, you have this big window here, sorry about that, but a big window here that shows Colossus on this side with his accessories and Juggernaut over here with his accessories leading up. And I like how it says X-Men nice here in red. It's got this little red outline. Marvel's Juggernaut and Colossus. Got Marvel's 80 years, which half of this believes that they put it out because of the 85 years line that they're putting out now. Sorry about all the creaking with my chair. It creaks a lot because it's pretty old. Then you got the warnings, 4+ and Hasbro. If we move on up, it says Marvel Legends series at the top. And you get this sort of faded Marvel go right here. Don't mind my leg, goes down there. Then on this side, you get some nice comic art of Colossus and Juggernaut fighting with Marvel Legends on that side as well. Same on this side, which you get more of Juggernaut with his face and more pictures here. Same Marvels right there. Then this nice, cool-looking comic here, which I'm assuming it's based off of 80 years. All your legal stuff. And then here's Juggernaut and his bio if you want to pause and read that. And Colossus if you want to pause and read that. So yeah, overall, this package is really cool. But such a shame that we're about to open it. Well, not tear it open, but kindly open it. Alright, so what we're going to start out doing is, of course, opening the knife, which is our trusty little blue one here, and just cut the tape along on this side here. Then we'll close the knife over there. Then I'm gonna have to push the box here because, as you can tell, it's a pretty big figure box. And slide this on out, which, as you can see, there's this cool, nice looking explosion effect there. And now we'll kind of put this off to the side because it's taking up a lot of space. And now we have our little plastic sheet here, which we can start by taking out the accessories with. Wow. Alright, this is gonna get stuck. Alright. Might have to skip to it. Alright, so it was a bit difficult to get these out of the packaging, especially since the accessories were really tight. And also, since Juggernaut's really big, he had some zip ties, they're not zip ties, but like those plastic, like sort of, I don't know what you call them, but like the wire sort of things. Yeah, he had some of those attached to him, or this thing, whatever these are called, little ties. But I assume they had that because he's really big. But yeah, we'll start with the accessories, and we'll start with Colossus. Alrighty, and for Colossus here, he does come with, in the packaging, these 2 gripping hands, and then he also comes with these 2 sort of fisted hands, which look good. The metallic paint looks great. The line work, like the circles on his knuckles, look good. The inside looks really great. And then, of course, they can articulate. And yeah, now we'll move on to Juggernaut's accessories. And for Juggernaut, as you can tell, this is a pretty big figure, but in packaging, he comes with these 2 fist hands. Then he also comes with this wide open grip, like sort of like reaching out hand that looks really great, with the band around his knuckles, which looks good with all the dents and like scratch marks on it, which I think looks really great. And then the hand detail looks good. And then he also has this sort of grabbing onto something hand, which the veins and then the same sort of look there look really great. And then he comes with this head sculpt. I'll zoom in on it. This sort of really good head sculpt that we'll get into more on the detail. And then he also comes with this sort of beaten up head sculpt that looks really great. The black eye looks good. The paint, if you can't really tell, but the eye around it's all red in there because he just like got punched. And then like the bloody 2 sort of like knocked out teeth, like, I don't know, like smirk, sort of like anger look, looks really good. The other eye looks great. Oops, sorry. The hair looks good with all this like a light red, looks like it wash on the dark red hair, which makes the head look even great, or even better. And then he has this busted open helmet that has this nice sort of silver paint on the inside, and then all the details of like the bolts and everything around the helmet and like the scratches and everything looks really, really cool. And I'll show you guys what it looks like with that on. All right, there he is with that other head sculpt on. And first thing I'm noticing is his head looks really small. And we'll just do a quick articulation segment with this helmet on, his head on. That's how far back he can look, and that's how far forward he can look. Then a bit of tilt, no tilt, and then sort of swivels all the way around. But I still like the inclusion. And then here's his busted sort of helmet look. I mean, it could sit on there. You want to try and line it up with his eyes. Other than that, that's pretty cool detail. I like how they added that. But yeah, we'll put on the other head and take a look at his detail and articulation, and also Colossus. All right, so for Juggernaut, the detail, this helmet looks great. I like how it's all smooth in contrast to the broken helmet, which makes sense because this is all broken and has more scratches than this smooth, sort of like before battle one. But if we zoom in there, the white eyes look really good. This grin with all his like teeth looking all messed up, even before he gets beaten up, looks really great. And then the body looks great. I'm gonna pop up a picture right here. It is the Lego one, but there's also comics, which I showed. But the Lego one is because of what I grew up with. And like I said in my Red Hulk video, that as well. But I like the dark red here, and then the light red on the boots looks really nice, with also the black down there at the bottom. And there's these straps on each bicep that are also like that same sort of damaged weather look. They look really nice, and like they can't slide up and down. Same with like the gauntlets here, and then also on like the knuckles. Then the mid torso sort of area with the light red and the black lines going all the way around looks really good with it separating at the bottom or the top. So yeah, now we'll get into Juggernaut's articulation. So for articulation, I already showed the other head sculpt, but here's his main one. That's how far back he can look with his head. That's how far forward he can look. There is a bit of tilt, and he can rotate all the way around. Shoulder can get you that far up, I guess. Oh, there we go. About that far. Bicep swivel, or butterfly joint, he doesn't have any. And then one thing I want to look is like this, because this is how he runs in the Lego games or any game. I'll try to see if I can find a video of him doing that. Like I said earlier, I get everything from Marvel. Not everything, but most things from the video game, the Lego superhero one. That's because I grew up with it. But yeah, and then he does have bicep swivel here. Single jointed elbow can get you about that far up. There is no rotation there because there's a pin going through it. And then for the fist, or the wrist rotation, he can go that far, then rotates all the way around. Back crunch gets you about that far. Pretty good ab crunch going forward, like I said, because he runs like this in the comics, I think. I don't know, I'll see. I'll need to do more research on that, but yeah. For his legs, kicks out that far forward, that far back, which explains because how beefy they are. And they are sort of on a ball joint here, unless, because I know this is reused from the Build-A-Figure, but yeah. Thigh rotation right there, and then single jointed knee gets you that far back. And if we bring it back, ankle goes that far down, that far forward, and a bit of rocker. And there is no sort of boot rotation, but still pretty good articulation for this big chunky figure. Alrighty, and for Colossus here, the detail, his head sculpt looks really nice. It looks like the comics, and it looks really cool. And then I like the black hair, which is what I usually think of Colossus with. And this chrome paint looks really good, and like there's sort of like black lines around his eyeballs, which look really good. If we set the camera back and zoom in on the chest, the like shoulder flaps look really good with the red lines and the yellow down the middle. Same with it on the back. The gold around the belt with the black X looks really good with also those. The belt also hides the articulation, which is really good. And then if we zoom back out, the gauntlets here can come off if you take off the hand there. And then of course you got like the underwear here, looks really good. The chrome paint all around looks really nice. And then the line work looks really good. And then the knees here I think look really nice with the sort of like, I don't know what you can call this, but like the yellow and then the black paint looks really nice. And then also down here to the legs. And then I know comparisons are for later, but here he is next to Colossus, the Age of Apocalypse one. As you can tell, there's something missing from him. His arm. This is the Build-A-Figure, and I'm still trying to get that Rogue. But yeah, I think these are only two, other than that new Deadpool movie Colossus that should be coming out. But I think this one is bigger. It makes sense because he's a Build-A-Figure, and Age of Apocalypse is like, I don't know, maybe he's grew a lot. But the difference between hand sizes and everything. But yeah, other than that, I don't know which one I prefer more. Probably this one for now, because he doesn't have an arm. But if I get that arm, probably gonna be this one. Now for articulation on Colossus, he can look way far up, really far down. A bit of rocker there, rotates all the way around. Arm can get you about that far up. No butterfly joint, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, can only go about that far. No rotation there because he also has a pin going through it. Rotation all the way around the wrist, side to side there. Back crunch can get you that far, and then that far forward, which is, I mean, pretty good if you want to in some sort of diving pose. And then with the belt sort of covering it, he doesn't have good articulation there. But other than that, he can rotate all the way around, which is really nice. And then thigh swivel here, and then the legs can kick out, that far forward, and about not too far back. Stops about right there. And then double knee can get you that far back. If we pop that back there. And then ankles, that far pivot down, that far forward up, and a bit of rocker. Now we'll get into scaling. Alright, to start off with Colossus, here he is next to his Build-A-Figure counterpart of the Age of Apocalypse one, and the same two-pack member, Juggernaut, and he looks pretty good next to those two. For some fellow X-Men, here he is next to the Heated Claws Wolverine and the Age of Apocalypse Iceman, and he looks pretty good next to him. Alright, and for other comparison, here he is Colossus next to the Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth and the Age of Apocalypse Magneto. And I will probably be replacing this Age of Apocalypse one. I mean, I'll still have it, but replacing it with that new Sabretooth and Logan, like, 2-pack. That figure just blows my mind. It's like, it looks really amazing. And it looks so comic accurate. And he's big. He's got, like, his claws and everything. And I just love that look for him. And I think it's going to be great if I get it. And then for the, I forgot it, is it the Brotherhood of Evil? Which is that Magneto's, like, sort of X-Men evil team. But here he is next to the both Age of Apocalypse Magneto and Sabretooth, which he looks pretty good next to. I assume Juggernaut should be huge. And yeah. And here's Juggernaut standing really tall next to Wolverine, which I don't find that wrong because Wolverine is supposed to be short. And here he's next to Deadpool, which this figure isn't mine. Just a little shout out to my brother who has a gaming channel, which is called Endermite, which I'll popped up right there. And yeah. Now we'll move on to the end. Alright, and that's going to do it of this Juggernaut and Colossus 2-pack review. As you can tell, I'm not the greatest at posing, but the more you do it, the better you get. And I'm sort of happy with this. I have this sort of display, this like rock one from the Batman, Earth 1, and Superman McFarlane pack. If you want to go ahead and get that for this little stand, you don't have to. Pretty sure you can find it online. But I think this 2-pack is great. I hope you guys find this out there. I was lucky enough to find this for $70 at my GameStop. Like I showed my Red Hulk review. This pack, the day before I found this, I wasn't going to buy it. I thought it was too much. Then finding this for that cheap, I almost cried in the GameStop. But yeah, like I mentioned before, I'm going to shout out my brother for thank you for borrowing. Let me borrow this Deadpool figure, which I'll pop up his channel right here. And yeah, other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to follow the TikTok and Instagram, which I'll pop right up there. And yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching another Toy Soldier action figure review. And see you guys on the flip side.